Hi, Sons and Daughters of Oregon Pioneers. My name is Mel Fuller. I'd like to go over how to create and update and link items for our mapping project. So the first area of interest we want to talk about is how to create a point of interest, a POI, and then we'll go into updating and then linking. So to create a point of interest, which is a uh, location along the Oregon Trail or in the Oregon Territory that would be of interest to our members. And we've kind of looked at two classifications of the point of interest. One of them being the principal, and the other being a secondary. Principal being a point of interest where uh, many pioneers would have passed by on their way to the Oregon Territory, such as Fort The Dalles or Fort Boise uh, or St. Louis or other locations along the trail. And the others would be a secondary, certainly more specific to a family, as the church in Sile is for the Powell family, or the monument in Woodland for the Bozarth family, and many others. And we're looking at those as a secondary uh, point of interest. So, uh, how to get started? Let's begin with an example today. And the first thing to do to make sure you're successful is come with an address, pictures if you have some, a website URL, uh, and any other points of interest that may be available. So let's click on here and say, we'll go over these steps, and these steps are all included in an email that I will be sending along with this video to each of you. So open a blank submission form, which is on the admin page, and then complete the fields in turn, beginning with the name, of course, address, and so on. Note on the email field, um, the email system we use is one for security. So every member has a email, and if they don't have an email, then we create a fake email for them, and and also they create a password. So the format we're using for a POI, which is obviously not a person or a member, but it still needs to have a security uh, email address, even though it's not a real one. So the format as shown here in blue is IIIXX at SUP.org. The I is your initials, in my case, MEF, and the XXX is a sequence number that you would keep track of with yours beginning at 001. So moving on, if the address is created as one that is a fake one, remember to click the box denoting that it is not a real address. What that does is hides that address from view of others who are viewing the sites. So there's no confusion of people trying to email a address that's not valid. So another thing about emails, we have the ability if a member has a specific site that they're interested in my case on the Bozarth Memorial or Monument in Woodland, I use a alternate email address so that when they view that site, if they have a question or have interest or make a comment, they can click on that, and then that will open an email for them to send me any questions or comments they have on the site. And other members can do that for other sites that may be specific to their family. So moving on, this is a time when you're doing the submission form where you upload any pictures you have, adding a description in the field below the picture, and we can do up to 5 right now. And lastly, click submit, and the form the system will send you a message that says that the submission was successful. If it was not successful, it'll also say there's an error, and you'll need to go back and look for the red tagged items and correct them or complete them as needed. So let's go on to the website, and let's begin by navigating to the admin page. And on that page, navigate down to the submission link. It may ask you for your login credentials. And there we go. So I've selected a link that's not in yet, and it's Chimney Rock, which is a fairly large point of interest along the way on the Oregon Trail, and visited by many travelers who came along the trail, as well as folks that have done so in recent years. So let's start by putting in the name. CH. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. Meanwhile, so you can see as I've entered the address of the site, saved you the time of watching me copy and paste. But we'll copy and paste this with you online here, and that is the URL for the site. And so okay, we've pasted the copy of the URL for the site, and that way people can go to it and see the pictures of the site themselves. So this is a point where we have to identify what sites or what family names are those who have visited this, and we're going to put down just Oregon because it is an Oregon Trail site, and then let's continue on, and we'll get back to it during an update phase. So email address is mef011 at sdop.org. And indeed, we're going to mark it as a fake email address. And the category, we're going to call it a trail. It's on the Oregon Trail. No buildings there other than a tourist spot. So let's move on down to it's an active, in other words, I'm going to make this an active site for people to visit, or the pending could be when you want to come back and do some more work on it. So leave it pending and visit it later and finish it up. The source is POI documentation. And so let's do a picture. So choose a file, and we'll go into my system and find that picture that best represents them. I've gone through earlier and found a picture of Chimney Rock from a free picture site for Oregon Trail. There's about 7,000 pictures, so there's a number of them on there. And we'll choose this one. You can't see it here, but in this one, there's baled hay standing in front. So I doubt during the time that pioneers went through, there was baled hay anywhere. So we'll put that in. And as you can see, the address is there. So moving on down the way, let's just skip to any more pictures. And I probably should write something in here. Okay. I didn't spell picture very well. Sorry about that. Okay. I didn't like it either. What are we going to do here? Well, we're not having much luck. Okay. Let's move along here and submit it. And we got a message that says it was successful. All right. So that being done, let's go back to the admin page of the website and go down to update. So let's see what our notes say that we should be looking at. Okay. Step number 2, update or edit an existing POI. First is going to be what we're going to do here is to update a POI or a membership profile. The next would be to search the POI that needs to be updated. And you can use numbers of different methods to search by using an example here. Looking for Fort the Dalles, just write FORT space T, and that will come up with enough of Fort the Dalles to pull the item into your results. Then navigate the fields that need to be updated. You can add pictures then. And then when you're done, press update. And if you get an error message, you'll need to resolve that. So let's go to our website again. So we had there's our website, our POI, with our picture in there. So that came out okay. Chimney Rock. All right. So that looks good. Now we have to pay attention to this area here, the ancestors, because many people came through the trail and stopped by here. We're going to add some that are in there. We're going to add all those that are in there right now. B-O-W-E-L-L and Meek. And again, if I could spell correctly, we'd be further ahead. Okay, these are the names that if you put those names in one of these names into the family search criteria, you will get this POI to pop up. and showing you the trail. So let's update that. All right. Now we're going to do one more. And we're going to do that by taking that item out and the search criteria and going down to the family and the group, put in Oregon here. Okay, so we're going to search for all the items, all the POIs that are in the system currently that are shown to be along the Oregon Trail. So the Fort the Dalles is there, and a number of other different locations. Now, in my effort to work through some of these, I added the Blue Mountain Crossing POI. We're going to open that up, and we're going to go down here to the ancestors. And because I put Meek in on a separate time, we're going to add Meek to the list, and then we'll complete that, and it shows successfully. So now let's go back to the admin page and go up here to looking at some of the sites. But first, let's go to our next page of instructions. All right. So here we go, linking the groups or families so they show up on the map when the name is entered in the search field under the name family or group. The thing to remember is that the family name or ancestor field is our common link for any record in the database. So we added Meek to a record that I had created earlier, but I had not updated. I had updated all the other ones so far. So everybody that's in there now, all the records, POIs, have a full complement of pioneers' last names. So they will come up in the search when that's done. So my point along here is be sure to make sure that that name is in that ancestor field. So here's an example: Joab Powell. That is in the members' ancestors. Excuse me, in the members' profile under their ancestor's name. So Joab Powell is the name of one of our pioneers, a number of our members' pioneer families, and so here we have, as an example, Powell is in the ancestor field of Fort the Dalles, as well as all the other ones that you saw earlier, and that will match it to the others, so you can see their track on the map and where they are now. So let's go back to see what that looks like on the page. Okay, so there shows you're connected to the map, and so let's go down here to see Meek. These are all the Meeks that have been or are members, and the points of interest along the trail for them. And so going up to the path, as you can see, they're beginning in Chimney Rock. Sooner or later, we'll have to put one in for earlier sites, but this will get us there. Now, these are all sites, and there's only one person this person here. So why is that one person there? Let's go down and do one more thing in our search. And in this case, let's put in the status and change it to all. Search. Oh, look at that. All those Miss Pioneer Oregons are popping up, along with a former president of SDOP. So we got a longer list now of points of interest. So we'll have the points of interest in the trail or along the trail, and then we'll see uh, members popping up, but yet they're not popping up. Why is that? Because there's no address. See? No address. So the poor mapping can't figure out where to put these names because there's no address. Although there is on others, but not the Miss Pioneer Oregons and a past president. So anyway, you can see the list is nicely done with pictures where appropriate, and that gives us a good result. So let's do another one here. If we can go back, let's go back to Oregon, Oregon. All right, and let's not do all. That's too much. So here are the Oregon Trail sites that are listed so far with a picture, and I'll be seeing if I can find some pictures of Fort Boise and some of the other sites along the way and update those. So that is where we are right now, and I hope that you've feel more comfortable after viewing this video. And if you need, without a doubt, give me an email or a call, and we'll see if we can get you going. It's very important to help us add these members to our mapping project that that will get them more embraced into our organization, and hopefully keep them lifetime members. Of course, they're going to be with us for a lifetime, but the annual members also need to see more of a value, and hopefully this will be able to do that for them. Sean came up with a great idea, and hopefully this manifested to where it can achieve what we'd like to have it done. So, all right, folks, thanks a lot. Talk to you later.